What up, Laker fam? It's your boy DTLF back with another pregame live stream, and oh man, very disappointed to inform you guys that Anthony Davis will not be playing out with back spasms. So the injury problems start after 4 games. That's very unfortunate. A lot of Laker fans are already fed up with this. Man, they're already telling me trade AD, trade AD. And you know what, man? Listen, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if the Lakers did make some sort of trade, but Davis' absence, this is the worst part. All right. It gets worse, by the way. Not just his absence, but Davis's absence likely means that Russell Westbrook remains in the starting lineup for tonight. Okay, so here we were excited that we would get to see the Brick Master coming off of the bench. And and instead, what happens? Instead, now, not only do we lose Anthony Davis, but we got, Westbrook the dancing clown over here, just basically about to start again, and it's just like wow, it like when it rains it pours, right? We can't look forward to nothing in games no more. What's up, D Lance? What's up, bro? So and here's what Wojnarowski is reporting as well. He said the Lakers' plan remains to transition Westbrook to a role as a lead playmaker with the second unit, but Darvingham has a decision to make whether that role will begin tonight. Based on the history, Darvingham will probably start Russell Westbrook tonight. All right. I don't think he has the guts to bench him even when Anthony Davis is out with an injury. What up, Laker girl? How you doing? He said, I think it's time to blow this team up and save our future. You might be onto something, man. You might be onto something there. Let's see what happens there. But it's one of those things, man. One of those things where just nothing can get us excited anymore. We're 0-4, no Anthony Davis, and Westbrook might potentially start again tonight. All right. Now, I'm going to be refreshing the page here to see if we get an update on that. But regardless, this is looking like another L unless some sort of a early Christmas Day miracle happens here. But, it's gotten to the point where there's just not a lot of excitement to look forward to in Laker games, if I'm being honest with you. The injuries are starting to plague us. We lost Thomas Bryant and Dennis Schroeder before the season even started. And now we lose Anthony Davis, probably our most important two-way piece on this roster for sure. And man, yeah, we could have used him this game for sure. They were even it must have been a game time decision because they were even practicing with Damian Jones, with him and a different starting lineup, which is what I reported earlier. He said he's gonna play all 82 games. Never forget, man. I mean, he said that was his goal, but we all kind of felt like, yeah, that's way too far fetched for you, bro. You just, you should shoot a little bit lower. He said, after my emotions went down, trading AD and LeBron would be the biggest mistake. One more bad season after that, we out of Westbrook contract. I don't know what to tell you, man, because you know what? All this holding out is just look, if the Lakers sit on and punt away this season, LeBron's not going to be happy. Us Laker fans, diehards, are not going to be happy either. And they're going to have a bunch of problems on their hands. So I'm not sure that's in their best interest either. Not to mention, you look bad. You look like you are wasting away LeBron's final years and the twilight of his career. It's just all bad. All bad. He said, I'm only watching the game to see Bron break the record. He said, why would anybody want AD in a trade? He'd never play for his new team. You'd be surprised, man. There's definitely going to be teams out there that feel like he might be the final piece to put him over the top. But I'm not even going to get into that. Trade talk is futile right now because the front office is not going to do nothing right now, right? They're thinking of waiting till late November, early December, which is ridiculous. The season will be over by then. And what's worse is that our draft pick will get pick swapped, and we might end up with the Pelicans' late 20s pick, and they'll end up with a top 5 pick. All bad. They're probably getting blown out today. No shooting, no bigs. It's an L. Yeah, it looks that way, bro. I mean, I'm still going to watch in hopes for the best, but if Westbrook is starting and we don't have Anthony Davis, that's 2 L's. We're taking right before the game even starts. He said, barbecue chicken in the paint, shake my head. Hopefully a zone saves us. Man, a trade is the only thing that would give me hope again, because at this point we're looking horrible. And then JTA is out as well. That's right, Laker girl. Thank you for reminding me. He tweaked his ankle last game. So whoever's doing that voodoo is working, man. Whoever's doing that nasty voodoo, nasty work on our Lakers. It's definitely working. So pray for the Lakers. All right, we didn't get out of this witchcraft bullshit. He said, Dan, do you actually think we can make a trade that would make us a contender? Yes, I do. I truly believe it. I believe if you get a shooter, maybe a backup big man, then you'll be a lot better than what we are right now. Remember, we were a top 2 defense before the injuries started to AD now. So don't forget that. But yeah, man, this is all bad. I mean, is the front office happy just watching, this excruciatingly painful team take the court? Because I'm not, right? Like I said, they have to the end of this week, man. But if this continues, we lose tonight and then we lose on Sunday, it's a wrap, man. It's a wrap. In the West, you cannot start 0-6. You can't. And then think you're going to catch up, right? It's just, you can't. Not in the West. Maybe in the East back in the day when LeBron was in his prime. But it ain't the same LeBron. He's not a young man no more. And then, it's just all bad. All bad. Hey, my boy Mouse's sport card out here, man. He's trying to get it. Get it, bro. I see you. He said, don't worry, Laker Nation. We got Gabriel. Stop. He said, Rudy and Karl Anthony Towns at power forward and center, and we don't got Anthony Davis. It's going to be crazy. Let's just see how the team body language looks, because if they look like they're not even trying, then what's the point of holding on to anybody? Now, one thing we just figured out, some of us, some already knew, everybody that's pretty much inverse with the NBA collective bargaining agreement, they already knew LeBron can't get traded this season anyways. It'll have to be till summer. So much for those people that wanted LeBron traded this season. He said, where's Waldo Kendrick Nunn? I feel a protest coming, Dan. You're onto something, Reg Dog. You are onto something. It's an honest question. Would you rather have the team start slow and figure it out by midseason and come on strong in the second half of the season, or start strong and fumble at the end? Neither. Neither. Listen, because in the West, you can't start slow. There's no coming on strong at the end of the season. Not with this roster. They need a trade. So neither of those two options I'd rather the Lakers make a trade early and figure it out as soon as possible. People act like trades can't change the whole dynamic of your team. They can. Just remember when we acquired Pau Gasol, and again, I'm not saying we're going to acquire anybody of that magnitude, but we already have 2 star players, or in Anthony Davis' case, 1.5, because he's like half a star player when he's missing half the time. So, Dan, do you believe the other teams want to help the Lakers? Do you believe it's because of LeBron? No. I just think other teams see our desperation. They want to rip us off. And then you have stubborn Rob Pelinka, who probably doesn't want to give up on his project Russell Westbrook. But the project failed, man. It blew up in your face, bro. That was the worst trade in Laker history. Own it and fix it. That's the best thing he can do at this point. But again, just waiting to see what the word is from Mike Trudell for the starting lineup, because I have no idea what's going to happen. All right, at least bench Westbrook. I mean, it's the least you can do. Even without AD, I don't want to see Westbrook out there, man. He's a little too happy while we're down 0-4. Can't have that. This must be a win for our team, Lakers, tonight over Timberwolves. Oh, man. Isaiah Porter, I love your energy and your enthusiasm, but I got no more left to give, man. Till they show me something, it is what it is. Till they show me something. He said, DTLF trade AD, Russ, 2 first-round picks for KD and Seth Curry. Man, I don't think the Nets even want to make a deal with us, to be honest with you. I don't see it. We should have traded for DeJounte Murray. That's another team that doesn't like to make deals with us, the Spurs. But yeah, DeJounte would have been beast. He really would have. He would have solved a lot of problems. Dan, we should start Troy Brown at the 3, Brown at the 4, Damian at the 5. He said Pat at the 1 and Lonnie at the 2. Anything is better than having Westbrook in the starting lineup. I'm with it. I'm so with it. He said, why does Bron still have to carry this team? Because he's still the best player on the team, Reg Dog. As long as Anthony Davis can't stay healthy, he's the best player on the team. Simple. And he can't stay healthy, man. Again, it's not looking good for AD. And if you go back and you watch the clips, there's been clips circulating of Anthony Davis when he played for the Pelicans. He looked like a different beast than what he looks like a shell of himself now. I don't know what happened post-championship. I don't know if he didn't take care of his body or these are all just freak accidents and injuries. But look, at the end of the day, man, got to be extremely intelligent with the whole situation. Like, you know what I mean? Is a realistic AD trade package off the top of your head? Realistic AD trade package. Now, if are we talking just AD, or are we talking, blow it all up? Because if it's just AD to help LeBron James off the top of my head, I'm going AD for Damian Lillard and Joseph Nurkic. That's what I'm going with, and I'm offering it in hopes that the Portland Trailblazers take it. And that's a trade I wouldn't have done last year, but after all the injuries, man, after all the damn injuries, yeah, I'm doing AD for Damian Lillard and Nurkic if possible. If we have to have some throw-ins and some draft picks, so be it. But yeah, bring me Damian Lillard to pair it with LeBron James, and then we'll have like a serviceable big man. He said Blazers wouldn't do that unless Dame requests a trade. Well, we'll see. He said Dame don't move the needle. I don't know about that, LeBron James fan. I don't know about that. Damian Lillard definitely moved the needle when he daggered us the other night. So I definitely can't agree with that. He said Lakers organization either sells the team because they're so incompetent or start to rebuild. No playoffs, no play-in. All bad, man. AD to Boston for Brown and Williams. I'm not sure I want to do I'm not sure I want to do a trade with Boston. They would have to include Tatum, right? And we'd have to cripple them enough where they don't win the championship even by adding Anthony Davis. They're like one piece away from guaranteed championship. So if I have to, gun to the head, I don't think I'd do a trade with Boston, but if I have to, gun to the head, give me Marcus Smart, give me Jason Tatum and Robert Williams. I have to cripple them enough where they don't have enough. Because you leave Robert Williams and Smart there and you just bring Brown with Tatum, they're probably winning the championship if he could even stay healthy for 40 games. He said Brown don't move the needle. LeBron James fan just. What moves the needle for you, bro? Give me a name. Give me a realistic name. Don't say nothing crazy. Is it AD for Beal and Adechua plus picks? Beal hasn't been healthy either. We're complaining about health, But I'm trying to think. Look, like Reg Dog likes my trade package. That's what's up, Reg Dog. I'm trying to think. Like if we had to make a trade, I'm crippling whatever franchise. I'm gonna make sure they don't win the championship because then you look even worse, right? So yeah, kind of like when we traded Shaq to Miami, we didn't cripple that franchise enough. They basically gave us all their spare parts, and they paired up Wade with Shaq, and they ended up winning the championship. We should have took a lot more from Miami. Even though Shaq was kind of over the hill already, he still had enough left in the tank. He said Markkanen would have been perfect. Excuse me. For the Lakers. Lakers need Covington, 3 and D. You're right. Markkanen would have been perfect, Oliver. Absolutely. Markkanen would have been awesome. But who else would have been awesome? Bojan Bogdanovic, who's leading the league in threes. I think he's shooting close to 50%. This dude is killing it, man. He would have been perfect as well. Is it AD for Siakam and Van Vliet? Ooh, that's not a bad one right there, Hector. I low-key like that one. What do you guys think of that one? AD for Pascal Siakam and Fred Van Vliet? And again, I don't think the trade conversation is going to start now. If they start, it'll be in the offseason. So these aren't realistic, but just hype. But this, listen, we're desperate, man. We're looking for anything to look forward to. You said, Dan, I'm sad, man. This year is a wash. Look, if the Lakers really want to, they can still save this season, but it's going to be up to them if they want to. If not, we got to apply pressure as a fan base. We have to, because we cannot settle for just a season of breaking LeBron's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar record, and that's it. Like, no, we need more than that. We want to see competitive. We want to see LeBron in the playoffs with the Lakers. We don't want to see a play-in or even worse. Is it time to panic already? It is. It is time to panic because now not only is the chemistry down, but now, we're also losing star players. So it's a perfect storm. It's the worst case scenario that could have happened. It'll happen next week, Kay. If they can't get this right. Joseph, appreciate you, man. He's the AD on pace to play like 50 games. That's all bad. That is all bad. Then I have a strong feeling that this season is going to be worse than last year if we don't trade Westbrook. You might be right. By the way we started, you might be right because we got an even worse schedule than last year to start off, right? He said nobody is taking Mr. Glass. Mr. Glass. You'd be surprised, man. He still has some trade value. People might think if we get the right trainers around him, we ease up on his workload and make sure we put a center next to him, and then we ramp him up closer towards the playoffs. And trust me, people will want Anthony Davis still. I mean, he's in his prime. It's not like he's 35 or nothing, right? He's in his prime. So there's still some trade value for him. But the question is, how much? And will teams try to rip us off? That's the bottom line. He said, remember the Celtics started 2-5 last season? Yes, I do remember. However, that Celtic team was young. It was healthier than this team. And there wasn't as much pressure because they didn't have a lot of expectations last year, right? At least not from outside of the city. Inside the city, of course. But outside of the city, like the Lakers always have high expectations. And when they don't meet them, it becomes a lot worse. A lot worse. CJ Hines, appreciate you, bro. He said, trade AD to Chicago. He's a clutch client. We know how that goes. Well, what trade package would be reasonable for you guys for AD to Chicago that could still let LeBron James compete for a title? I would take Vucevic, Zach LaVine in a first-round pick, or Vucevic, Zach LaVine, Caruso in a first-round pick. I would take that. Would you guys take that package? I'd take that. Somebody said on my Twitter timeline, somebody said DeRozan, I think, let me see if I remember his trade. DeRozan and Nick Vucevic, no, was it? I think it was Vucevic, and then we turn around and we do the Russell Westbrook for Miles Turner and Buddy Hield. and it sounded pretty good to me. But I'm just saying, would you guys do the AD one? Is it AD for DeRozan and Caruso? That's not enough. We need a big man in return, man. AD is the Lakers' biggest disappointment. Debatable. Because for me, the biggest disappointment since last season, we haven't even scratched the surface on the playoffs, has been Russell Westbrook. We haven't won at all. We haven't played any brand of winning basketball with Russell Westbrook. So, we can look at AD all we want, but we won a championship with him. Even though we're disappointed this season, he's injured again. Russ has never done nothing for us, and he handicaps us with the cap space. So I'm going to respectfully disagree with my boy Resh Dog, but I'll say, it is disappointing. He said, have we seen DeMar DeRozan and Bro play over the summer? They killed those dudes. He said, we need 50 from LeBron tonight. We need a miracle. Jesus might have to suit up for the Lakers tonight. You know what I mean? Like, in order for the Lakers to win tonight, and by the way, I wish that everybody was healthy. Why does it seem like every time we are longing for payback? Because remember, last year, Karl Towns was pounding his chest, and I said, wait till they get to the playoffs. Timberwolves fans were plaguing my chat after the postgame, after they beat us last year. And I was like, wait till they get to the playoffs. They're not going to be pounding their chest. And sure enough, they got eliminated in the first round, rightfully so. But look, Patrick Beverley's going up against his ex-team that also traded him after he helped them get to the playoffs, so he should have a chip on his shoulder tonight. LeBron James should definitely have a chip on his shoulder because Karl Towns and everybody was disrespecting him and the Lakers last year. So the unfortunate part is we don't have enough firepower to compete. They're going to kill us in the paint with the softy tower and Karl Anthony Towns, who I'm not a fan of, by the way, at all. The only player I really like, the only two players I like from the Timberwolves are Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards, and D'Angelo Russell. But somehow D'Angelo Russell always kills us when he plays us too, so I'm not a fan of that. He said, how are we winning games with zero shooting? Exactly. They have to make a trade. People say not to panic, and the Celtics came back last season, blah, blah, blah. It's not the Celtics. It's the West Coast, and the Celtics had a completely different roster, and we have a historically poor shooting one. Historically poor. AD gave us championships. He deserves respect. For sure. I don't disrespect AD. I don't be calling him glass anything or this or that. But I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. And I will say that if he cannot stay healthy this season, he will be on the trading block probably this summer, probably as soon as the summer starts. Maybe even sooner. I don't know. But I always going to have love and respect for LeBron and Anthony Davis. I'm not going to start slandering them out of the blue. He said the thing about AD is that every time he plays, it always seems like he's grimacing after every contact. He said, it makes me hate watching when I'm constantly worried about him getting injured, bro. I know. You're absolutely right, Guillermo. I mean, that has been a concern for Laker fans since we acquired him. I mean, he even got injured the year we acquired him, remember? And he missed a couple of games and he came back in time for the bubble where he dominated with LeBron. But we haven't had a consistent stretch like that since. And it's all been downhill. He said Dr. Bus would have traded AD and possibly LeBron. Dr. Bus might be, maybe you're right, because Dr. Bus was a high roller. He gambled on everything, you know, and sometimes, most times, it did pay off. So you're right. And the only time it didn't pay off was when we traded for Carmelo and Gary Payton. They were over the hill, and that's a problem I've always had with the Lakers. We end up trading for players that are over the hill a lot of the times, and we come up short, right? Would I consider trading AD? Yes, if he continues getting hurt like this, I told you guys in the summer, this is a big year for him. He needs to stay healthy. Now, I understand if he misses one game, but then he comes back and he looks healthy when he comes back. But if he's grimacing out there looking like an old man, you know, somebody get him a cane type of look, then yeah, I think it's going to be in everybody's best interest to get rid of him because there's a lot of pressure here that he might not be able to take, especially with all those injuries, right? All that pressure, as soon as you get traded away from the Lakers, the pressure magically disappears. Look what Kuzma's doing. Look what KCP is doing. All these players around the league, they kill it when they leave the Lakers. It's just, you know, the limelight is a little too bright for some players sometimes, right? And I'm not sure if it's the pressure or what, but Anthony Davis said he was 100%, you know, heading into training camp, and all of a sudden back spasms, right? Like, it's always an issue with this poor guy, and I feel bad for him. I honestly do. But the fact of the matter is that, you know, and I always respect, I'm not going to call him, you know, any names or nothing like that, but I'll say, yeah, you know, he's going to be up on the chopping block if he cannot stay healthy. Bottom line. And I don't just mean this game. I mean games moving forward. Now, let's see if we got the updated starting lineup. No, we did not get the. Oh man, like I really wanna see what the updated starting lineup looks like, Laker fan. Like I want to know because you know just curious, if Russell Westbrook starts after all these rumors that he might come off the bench, they're starting to groom him and all that, then it's going to tell me that coach is afraid. That coach doesn't want to look bad if AD's not playing and Russ has to come off the bench. That's what it's going to tell me. I'm going to lose a little bit of respect for coach. I'm not going to lie if that happens, but he said, this is why we should have done the Pacer trade. Turner steps in. Facts. I agree, Joe. I agree, and that's still my favorite trade on the board if it's still even up on the board. I don't even know if it is. But if it is on the board, I think that's a trade that looks a lot more lucrative because of the same reason you just mentioned. And I had said the exact same thing. He says Spurs waive Josh Primo. Lakers should sign him. Man, Lakers at this point, they need a lot more than just an you know, free agency signing. But I feel you, man. My mom is an OG Laker fan, and she told me who has to die this time to motivate this team. What? Who? I got to know, Reg, dog. I got to know what your mom said. You got to fill me in, brother. He said, haven't been messing up a bit. Still want to give him a chance, but I hear you, Dan. Yeah, look, I thought, listen, he came in here walking like he came in walking like a general, right? And he's conducted himself like a player friend. And that's the last thing I wanted to see. He even allowed Russell Westbrook to talk down on him, talking about he tweaked his back when he was benched. Like, man, I wish I was the coach when a player said that. He'd never see the light of day. I'll be like, well, how about we don't bring you off the bench? That way your back is perfectly fine. And you just sit your ass over there looking like a gargoyle. You know, don't move. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, listen. At the end of the day, you cannot have players bad-mouthing you because if they can do it, other players are going to look like, whoa, why are you letting him do that? And I can't get away with it. You know what I mean? They start losing respect for your coach. And that's what I don't like. AD out again, 0-5, here we come. I know, bro. Tough, man. Tough. But I hope there's some sort of a beam of light out here. You know, some sort of a positive we can take from today, regardless of, hopefully we win. But, man, it is becoming depressing to watch the Lakers. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. Until they make a move, it's going to be dreadful. You know, it's going to be dreadful. Reg Dog says she was talking about only reason they won in 2020 was because Kobe passed and motivated them. Oh, I see what you mean. Nah, yeah, no, we don't need anybody to pass, bro. You know, we don't need anybody to pass. Tell your mom I said respectfully, I disagree. We don't want nobody to pass. No, sir. What happens if the Lakers win without AD? Nothing. We got lucky. We got lucky as hell. And I hope we do win without AD, but the narrative cannot switch from one game to the next. We still need to trade Westbrook. We still need, while we trade him, we need to bench his ass and play him like 5 minutes a game. There still needs to be other things that need to happen for us to become a consistent team, because the goal is not to win one game. The goal is to have a winning season with at least 10 to 15 games above 500, at least. He said mom's a diehard. She was pissed. I feel you, man. Shout out to moms, man. Much love for the diehards, for the OGs especially. He said Lakers' best chances to take advantage of Gobert. Well, we don't have Stanley the Manly Johnson anymore, man. He was the Gobert killer, remember? He cooked them in the fourth quarter, dropped like 11 points on him, like he wasn't even there. You know, he was looking like the Stifle Tower. So I really miss my man Stanley Johnson. Like, that's tough, right? That is tough that he's no longer on the team, but you know, hopefully he'll find a home soon, because he's definitely a hooper. I hate to see that he got cut. It's like, why the heck did the Jazz even want him? Just for money purposes? LeBron better not get dunked on by Ant-Man. Man, don't even speak such evils into existence, please. He said, why haven't we done a trade? He said, Rob got used his my bad, I misread that. Why haven't we done a trade? Rob got to use his head and say to himself, so we really want to see 20 more games of this product? We are producing on the floor. You're right, bro. We can't see no more of that. We cannot see no more of that. Then I think the Lakers should try to get the Raptors GM as a replacement. Oh, I would love him. Masai Ujiri is a beast, but I don't think he's available. If he was, wow, that would be a dream come true. He's a beast. This guy will probably come in here and fix the team in 1 year, one off season. That's all it would take. And he'll probably have us competing for the next 10 years. That's how good Messiah is. Look what he's done with the Raptors ever since Kawhi left. All right, he's drafted extremely well, traded extremely well, and they're still a competitive team. That's all we ask for, man. We've lowered our standards from championship to all we want is competitive team. At least get us in the middle of the pack so we can compete for a playoff spot. But at this rate, we're at the bottom of the barrel. Why is AD out? Back spasms, man. That's why. He said, trade AD for a Diet Coke and a bag of chips. No. Actually, Jaguar, we need AD to bring us back a king's ransom. I'm not trading them unless I get a similar package to the one I gave up. Look, people are going to say, oh, well, he's injured all the time. He's devalued. No, he's only devalued because he's a Laker. Let's be honest. If he was on another team, he'd look extra lucrative because he has championship experience, because, you know, there's no pressure on him wherever he goes. Like, let's be honest. The real reason that anybody's trade value goes down is because they become Lakers and the rest of the NBA world hates us. Let's be honest. That's the truth. That's just a fact. That's just the facts. All right, let's see if the star lineup came in finally. Yes. Oh, my God. I got some hope just now. Los Angeles Laker guard Westbrook will come off the bench still. So, okay, Darvin Ham. Okay. That's right. You got to put him in his place, man. You got to tell him, listen, all right, even though AD is out, you're still coming off the bench. Don't get happy. Why don't you dance your way to the bench? So that actually brought my spirits up. I'm not going to lie. Anything helps at this point. Anything helps. That's how desperate we are for some good news. That even Westbrook coming off the bench, now whether we win or lose, that needs to be a permanent. You know, sit his ass there and don't ever bring him off the bench until the game is out of reach one way or the other way. You know what I'm saying? I'm being sarcastic, but I'm serious. Look, the starters are Beverly, Brown, Walker, okay, James, and Jones. So that's an interesting starting lineup. I like it. It's a lot different, right? It's a lot different. But look, I like it. Darvin Ham stepping up, right? Even though AD is hurt, he's letting Russ know, listen, it didn't help with you in the starting lineup. Okay? It didn't help. So now you're gonna have to come off the bench. You lost your opportunity. You had a golden opportunity. You're out here crip walking when we losing and shit. So Yo, this is a new starting lineup, and I like it. Troy Brown Jr. gets the start. So we got some length. All right, we got Lonnie Walker. We got Patrick Beverly. Troy Brown Jr. at the small forward. LeBron and Damian Jones. So shout out to Darvin Ham for actually putting a solid roster out there. Okay, Darv, I see you, man. I see you. He said, Russ is going to get hurt dancing. The cat is going to have a field day. Doesn't matter if he has a field day as long as as long as there's not a brick minefield of shots out there in the starting lineup. And even though there might still be, but that's one less brick coming off the bench. So that's what's up. Whether it's an L or a dub, man, I like to see a coach that can, live up to what he said. Facts over feelings. The fact of the matter is Russell Westbrook sucks at this point of his career. Listen, I made a joke about it, but I'm starting to think it's true. Russell Westbrook didn't buy a house across from LeBron James' mansion. He built it with a bunch of bricks this season already. So I'm telling you right now, the fact that he's coming off the bench, that's called accountability. You hold players accountable, everybody else falls in line. This was a must. This was a must. Dan, we need a win. I hate seeing us at the bottom of the standings. Yes, now I really want this win. Absolutely. Now that Russ is not in the starting lineup, I really, really want this win. I wanted it before, but now I really want it. The D-Ham playing AD at center, U100, Dan, AD already hurt. I told you guys that. I didn't want him at center because he can get hurt. Now he's already injury prone, but the probability of him getting hurt goes up by 10 with him doing the dirty work down low. So he said, LOL, this is the anti-Russ show. Absolutely. We're anti-haters. We're anti-hater, man. Listen, Russ is a hater. He's a Laker hater. He hates Laker Nation. He hates the Laker coaches. He hates the team. And we hate Russ Westbrook's stance as well. So let me just escort you out, my friend. But listen, my mood changed. I was down. I thought Russ was going to start, and Anthony Davis is not playing. At least we got one good thing that happened today. One good thing. And that's all I needed, man, to get my hope up. That's how much of an optimist I am. Russ, now I'm not saying we're going to win this game. I'm not saying that. But Russ coming off the bench, eat a slice of that humble pie. Huh? Who's dancing now? Who's dancing now? Y'all actually think Russ off the bench makes it easier to win? No, I didn't say that. No. Russ traded for pieces that can help us will make it easier to win. But this is the least we can do for this guy who has just embarrassed this franchise, embarrassed us. I'd much rather see Troy Brown Jr., who actually tries on the defensive end and has some good size, start over Russell Westbrook, even if he's not as good of a talent offensively. I'd much rather a team player be out there than Russell Westbrook. Simple as that. You got a problem with it, take it up with the judge, man. That's my thoughts. That is my thoughts. I'm proud of Darvin Ham. Yes, sir. Shout out to Darvin Ham. I was about to lose faith in him. If he would have started Russ after the reports came out that he was going to bench him and all this and that, I'm like, you're giving up power, dog. Don't do that. So this is good. This is good. It's not great. Obviously, we still have him on the roster. That's still a big problem. Right? We still have to see his mug. That's still a big problem. But for now, I'd much rather him take a slice of this humble pie, sit down with all your stands, and hopefully when you retire, they retire with you, and then we'll go from there. He said, Russ went to my high school, and he is a disgrace to the whole city of LA. You said it, not me, Rash Dog, but hey, listen. The fact that he has embarrassed this franchise the way he has, the dancing to me was the cherry on top. I'm not going to support this man no more. No more. As long as he's a Laker, of course, I'm rooting for his success when he comes off the bench, but that doesn't mean I support him as an individual anymore. Dude has just really fell off the wagon. Even Stephen A. Smith, who was jock riding him for about 75% of the 3 games, couldn't believe that he was over here dancing when we were down 0-3. So even Stephen A. Smith flip-flopping, but still somehow his stance remains strong, man. They still mad that I'm putting their favorite player on blast. It's going to happen. I appreciate you, Insane. Thank you, bro. He said, let's see a lot of Wenyen tonight plus Jay Huff. Jay Huff is no longer on the team, man. I do believe he was waived, brother. So, yeah, I regret to inform you that news. But the news I don't regret to inform you is that Russell Westbrook is coming off the bench. Yo, that's what's up. That is what's up. What's the starting lineup tonight? I got you, bro. I got you. Starting lineup is Patrick Beverly, Troy Brown Jr., Lonnie Walker, LeBron James, and Damian Jones. For those of you just tuning in, no Anthony Davis, but at least there's no Russell Westbrook in the starting lineup. So, it's is one of those things that we have to swallow. A tough pill to swallow tonight with AD being out, but the pill tastes a lot better with some water, And the fact that we're able to get, some good news is something, man. It gives me something to look forward to this game watching, because I was really not looking forward to it after Russ was hypothetically going to start. Hopefully we give Matt Ryan a decent minutes. Matt Ryan can shoot. Well, what else can he do? That's the problem with Matt Ryan. You throw him out there, he's going to be a defensive liability. But then again, so are other players. So I get your point. Let's see what he can do, though. Let's see. He said Pelicans was trying to warn y'all, but y'all won a chip with him and knew he was going to do that to y'all. I mean, we still won the trade. The only way I can say that the Pelicans win the trade is if we continue to suck, right? This bad. We concede the pick to you guys because you guys have a pick swap, right, Pelicans fans? And you guys end up with Victor Wembanyama with the pick that was supposed to be ours, and then you end up winning a championship in the next 3 to 5 years. That's the only way that y'all can win that trade. Bottom line is we still won a championship, and I know Pelican fans hate to hear it, but we whooped that trade because y'all really only got one good player in Brandon Ingram out of that trade. Josh Hart's no longer on your team. Lonzo Ball's no longer on your team. And you are nowhere near a championship, even though your team is supremely exciting to watch and in a better shape and condition than our current team is right now. I would do that trade 10 times out of 10 because it brings back a championship. And that's the difference between a casual fan and a diehard fan. A diehard fan knows that whatever you're willing, you have to risk it all to win a championship. You have to gamble. I mean, didn't we not learn nothing from these documentaries with Dr. Buss? You have to be a high roller. And this is why I say, you know what? Trade the picks if it brings back a potential championship contending player. Everybody's excited for Josh Primo, huh? I see you guys. Sign Josh Primo. The Spurs just let him go. But I'm excited about the game now that we don't have to see. Now, question is, just because you're benching Russ, coach, this is what I want to see. This is what I want to pay close attention to. Do you bring him in at like the 5 or 6 minute mark? Because that's not good enough for me. You should play him like at the end of the first quarter, start of the second, And also not only that, but does he finish the game with the starters? Because then there's not much of a difference, right? So what I want to see is Darvin Ham not only bench Russ, but give him bench minutes, which is 20 minutes or less. That's it. It'll minimize his negative impact on the roster. Less bricks, less turnovers, less bad attitude. Well, maybe more bad attitude. You might not be happy about it. But grab your popcorn because it's going to be interesting to watch. Win or lose, we have something to look forward to tonight. Laker fans. Real Laker fan. I'm talking to the real Laker fan, not the little hater player fans in the chat. I'm talking to the real ones. He said, Dan, thoughts on trading for Jacob Poeltl? I like Jacob Poeltl. Sure, if it gives us another big man that could be reliable, I do it, especially if AD would then eventually slide into his natural position to 4, which I think they were planning on him playing tonight alongside Damian Jones, but unfortunately, he was a no-go for the start of the game. His back didn't feel good, so I'd rather him sit out, even if it means taking another loss and being healthier, than him playing and then getting like a potential, season-ending injury or something along those lines, He said, don't play him late in the game. His basketball IQ is low. Yes, absolutely, bro. Do not play Russell Westbrook late in the fourth quarter, especially under 5 minutes. Please. Please. He said, what would be your starting lineup if the Lakers got Richardson, Doug McDermott, and Jacob Poeltl? Well, it would be Jacob Poeltl at the center, power forward Anthony Davis, LeBron James at the small forward. It would probably be Josh Richardson at the shooting guard, and point guard, whoever's left over. Probably Lonnie Walker. He's been such a killer. You could play him at the point. You got a slasher and playmaker right there. You know what I mean? The Lakers should have kept McGee. Thought he did good as a Laker. Was like the Tristan Thompson to LeBron in 16. You know what? I'll be honest. I undervalued JaVale McGee, especially because he didn't really make much of an impact in the playoffs. But during the regular season, he was really, really good. So you're right. We should have held on to him. At least for the regular season, he could have did the dirty work, and then AD could take over in the postseason. So you're absolutely right, bro. Absolutely. And you know what? He's one of the players, one of the few players I undervalued. Everybody else I stuck up for. Everybody else, from Rondo to Kuzma to KCP. But the one player I did undervalue and I did kind of call out plenty of times was JaVale McGee. But because of that postseason run he had, even though I should look at the bigger picture, that regular season was great for him. Just having him do the dirty work, block shots, he was athletic. He only played 15 to 20 minutes a night, but they were impactful. And he had championship experience, so I undervalued that. I'll admit when I'm wrong. Alex says we can't even give Victor. He said Pelicans will swap the picks. Exactly, bro. Thanks for the super chat. Exactly. We can't give Victor. That's what makes it worse. That's what makes us as Laker fans want to win even more, because we don't want to give Pelicans and their fans the satisfaction to start thinking they won that trade when clearly we won it. We have the only championship from the trade. That's the ultimate goal in the NBA, to win a championship. So whoever wins the championship in a trade involved wins the trade. That's the bottom line. Unless they can match us with another championship and have a brighter future, I don't see them winning that trade. So I do that trade again, even though now we're considering trading AD moving forward. But it doesn't mean that it didn't work out, because we did get that one championship and we're tied for 17 chips with the Boston Celtics. So it was a win for us. All right. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise, man. Don't let these fair weathers try to change your mind. At the end of the day, we're in this business of winning championships. Unless you're a Clipper fan, they're in the business of posting selfies. So at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. He said we gave up CJ, Ingram, Daniels. What? Who? We did not give up CJ. He was never on the Lakers. Stop. He said, "Hi Dan, I've been a Laker fan since Magic's rookie season in 1979 and 80. Damn, shout out to Melvin, man. Shout out to all the OGs in here. Y'all seen real greatness. So you know what kind of struggle and what kind of turmoil the front office is putting us through today, right? You know, you of all people know that we are not overreacting to this. This is very upsetting. So it is exciting that at least there's a glimpse of hope that the coach is the right coach, right? I needed to see what I want to see from Darvin. He already proved to me that he's a good coach with schemes defensively and offensively out of timeouts. I just wanted to see him have the guts to bench Westbrook. And this is the 5th game of the season, and he's about to do it. So I give him major credit. Now, can he hold him there? And for how long, right? That's the real question. And if not, well, then they shouldn't. Listen, they should already be talking trades, but this should just be a temporary type of fix for now. All right, Resh Dog, good to see you, bro. Thanks for sharing the stories of your moms. Appreciate you, bro. He said they traded Zoe for the contract to get CJ. Yeah, but that doesn't mean we traded CJ. You cannot throw that in there. Stop it. That's a completely different trade. Completely. He said, do you think we repeat if they ran it back in 2021? I don't know. It's hard to say, but we at least would have competed really well, right? Because we had the pieces. If we would have brought back JaVale, Dwight, Rondo, everybody we let go, we at least compete for that title. I know that for a fact, right? But, yeah, the injuries were tough that season. Really tough. He said, there's a guy that will probably be available to the Lakers in the 23 draft, Derek Lively. He said he is 7'1", 225 pounds. He is good from Duke. Don't get it twisted. We will still get a good pick. Yeah, I feel you, Kevin, and that's fair. However, you still don't want to, you still don't want to have a shitty season and have the Pelicans, get a top 3 pick off of your crappy season. So that's the only thing. But I feel you, man. Listen, the Lakers have always made a living. You know what I'm saying? The Lakers have always made a living off of late first-round picks or even early second-round picks. I mean, look at all the players we've drafted have become effective players, even the Josh Harts of the world, right? The Larry Nance Juniors of the world. They all got paid. The Jordan Clarksons of the world, right? All late first-round or early second-round picks, or even in Jordan Clarkson's case, he was a 47th, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 46 or 47. So they always make a killing with the draft. We're good at that. Problem is, if you have a surefire bet superstar, you don't want to give that away just because he was included in the Anthony Davis package. That'll make us look a lot worse. He said, Pacers playing on ESPN, now going to look at Buddy Hield. Check it out for sure. Buddy Hield, we know one thing. He can shoot, right? He's streaky, but he can knock down shots from time to time. I think one of these nights he had what do you have? What did he have? He had like 8 threes or 7 or 8 threes, something like that. So Laker fans were extra pissed because they were like, that could have been for us. He could have been doing that for us. So, but hey, we do have something to look forward to. I will talk about the keys to the game, though. We haven't talked enough about that. Now, obviously, we start in Beverly, Troy Brown Jr., Walker, James, and Jones. And we're going up against a very stacked roster that is the Minnesota Timberwolves. Listen, man, Rudy Gobert, we know he's not the best offensive player, but he'll get blocks. He'll get rebounds, do the dirty work. Karl Towns will focus on the offense. He's looking to get a 30 to 40 piece tonight, maybe even 50. Depends on how our defense shows up. We're going to need Damian Jones to be huge for us tonight. Anthony Edwards, another Laker killer. He's a young buck. He's a beast. My favorite player from the Timberwolves for sure. And then D'Angelo Russell, who always kills the Lakers for some reason. He's probably still salty about the whole snitch thing, but, very good young player as well. And then the worst part is that they have good role players, probably better than ours. Kyle Anderson, a.k.a. Slow-Mo. Jalen Noel, who has been killing it at the point guard position, backup. Tarion Prince, who's a good two-way player as well. Austin Rivers, who for some reason he outplays his contract every time he faces the Lakers. And then Luka Garza. This dude was killing us. Make sure we put a hand up on Luka Garza because, we know he can shoot threes, but he should not be shooting threes at that clip, not versus our Lakers. So the keys to tonight's game is cover the perimeter three-point shooters, rebound, and limit turnovers, right? Offensively, got to knock down our shots, got to get out in transition and get some buckets because that's where Lonnie Walker, LeBron James, guys like that, they thrive in transition. So get out, and hopefully the role players, the final thing is hopefully the role players step up. Kendrick Nunn, he ain't gave us none all season long. So we need him to give us something today. Oh, let's not forget about Nazi Reed, who killed us last game as well. You're right. So, yeah, that and Brian Forbes, you're right. Forgot about those two. So definitely got to cover the perimeter tonight. Got to make sure we box out, don't give up second chance points, get out in transition, limit turnovers. We got to do a lot of things to even have a chance at winning tonight. So let's see if there is a way early Christmas Day miracle, like a couple months away today, because we're going to need everything we can get. We need all the blessings, all the luck, everything. So, man. Okay, just excited about Russ not starting, but outside of that, I'm dreading this game. I think it might get ugly. So hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully they surprise us tonight. But I'll see you guys regardless here at the halftime for the halftime report. Please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you already haven't. Hit that post noti bell. Doing a lot of special things on this channel this season, including giveaways. So make sure you guys stay up to date on that. And also major shout out to my sponsor, Prize Picks, man. They've been phenomenal. I've been partnered with them for almost a year now, and I've had a blast. So hopefully we can renew that contract because, I love playing the app, and I love giving you guys a free promo code to try it out if you guys haven't tried it out yet. So there it is on the screen. DTLF is a promo code. Better chance to do it than now. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I will see you here at the half. Go Lakers, man. Do something and hopefully shock the world tonight. But I'll see you guys at the half. Peace.